Good morning. I'm sitting in my car with the rain pouring down, so you might hear the pitter patter of raindrops on the roof of my car. As you all know, I am currently on a low carbohydrate, high protein diet. Now, I wouldn't always advocate for this being a normal sort of eating pattern, but I just wanted to do it as an experiment for me. And the reason I've done it is because of perimenopause and of course menopause. I have been finding that the normal things that I would do to try and lose a few kgs just don't work anymore for me. I've been doing a lot of research, listening to podcasts, doing all sorts of things to sort of work out what I need to do now that I'm in a different stage of my life. And there are some things that definitely seem to help. So let me just explain a little bit. So as we get into perimenopause, what happens is our estrogen and our progesterone goes crazy. It influxes and it bottoms out, and you don't know when it's going to happen. That's why we have hot flushes and all sorts of weird symptoms. There's about 100 different symptoms you can get. Now, the biggest one is that when you go into perimenopause, you actually get insulin resistance. Our body can't process glucose like it used to. The glucose tends to just free reign it around our body, and then the body goes, I'm not giving you any insulin to be able to process this. I'm just going to store it as fat rather than push it into your liver and into your muscles. So yeah, it ends up being that midsection fat, that belly fat that everyone talks about. Now that fat is bloody stubborn to get rid of. It is hard frickin' work. With the insulin resistance in mind, because we can't process glucose like we used to or metabolize it, we need to find other ways to do that. One in particular is to go low carbohydrate, because of course carbs are our main source of glucose. Now, I'm not saying get rid of all carbohydrates. What I'm talking about is starchy carbohydrates, so starchy vegetables, wheat-based products, grains, legumes, and beans, and pulses, yeah. So reducing those down is your best bet to try and remove some of that glucose from your diet. Your body's not trying to process it. So that's where the whole low carbohydrate comes in. The next part is, because you're eating low carbohydrate, of course you're going to have to lift up something else, and that is, I have gone protein. So going higher fat would be keto, but I've gone protein because as we get older, we need more help to repair our muscles, and we need those amino acids to help repair those muscles. Lifting up your protein is really important, and I've lifted mine up to 2 to 2.2 grams per kg, and it also helps with satiety, so it fills you up so you don't feel hungry. So eating good lean protein, so lean is the key here. You can still eat, if you're vegetarian, pulses and legumes if that's what needs to happen, but yeah, nice lean. You may also have to supplement. The next thing we have to do is focus on a different type of exercise. So doing cardio doesn't cut the mustard anymore when you get into about your late 30s to 40s. You need to shift your mindset, and you need to start lifting heavy weights. And I say heavy, like they're not little 2 kg weights here. We're talking really heavy lifting. You may need a PT to help support you in learning how to do this. And what that does is it forces the body to lay down new muscle, and muscle processes glucose, so it creates glycogen within the muscle. So the more muscle you have, the more glucose you can burn. So we want to be able to have as much muscle as possible to burn that glucose, but also make more muscle so that our metabolism lifts, so we're also burning more glucose. So that's why you have to heavyweight train. Cardio will burn glucose, but because you're not building muscle, you're not improving your body's ability to process more. And to be honest, cardio just doesn't burn glycogen like weight training does. So that's the things, guys. So we need to be doing heavy weight training at least 3 to 4 times a week. Sorry, I said the wrong thing there. 3 to 4 if possible. Eating high protein to support building muscle and repairing that muscle. And then pulling back those carbohydrates to ensure that we're not taking in too much carbohydrate. So basically, women, as we get older, we can function on a higher protein diet. Don't forget about fats. So fats are still important. You need to be eating poly and monounsaturated fats. So I'm talking avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, avocado oil, those good fats, and trying to limit your saturated fats. So I wouldn't be going coconut oil because we still have to be careful of our heart health. And saturated fat, we only want about 20 to 25 grams a day. So trying to keep that saturated fat down as well for our heart is important. So there you go. So focus on good fats, focus on protein, low carbohydrate, weight training. That's pretty much it. It's a big shift, and maybe you don't have to do it all at once. And that's where a weight management coach can come in, because we can help you make those shifts gradually. Because once again, if you lay everything on thick, you tend to fall off the bandwagon. So yeah, hopefully there's some wee tips. Now I've created a quick guide that you can request just to cover off a few of those tips. It's very basic. It's not a big read. It's just a very basic guide just to give you some of those tips on how to look after yourself during perimenopause and menopause.